Okay, second take. Hi, this is my personal presentation for my module D8. This PowerPoint goes from when we were first given it from my plan to week 4, and then I'll be showing the rest on my website because videos and stuff weren't working properly. But so Unit D8, it was a we were allowed to get quite free with it, and we got to choose our own skill that we wanted to develop. Multiple people have done different things, and then a few of us have done more instrument-based things. The way I've titled it is Refining My Piano Skills and Improving Technical Abilities. So I set a goal for myself over the 8-week process that I wanted to sort of have a target on a song and identify the different skills and techniques that were being used to play it, and then I'd break it up and then I'd improve on mine so I could end up playing the song. Before I go into it, it's a hard song. I don't think I bit off more than I can chew because I could definitely play it if I was given more time, but it is just a time thing. So at the very start of Unit D8, we were given a plan. So for my D8, I chose to develop my piano skills and capabilities to understand the technique behind it. The skills that I was planning to learn on and improving were my arpeggios, my left to right hand coordination, hand to eye coordination, cross hand playing, and different octaves whilst using the cross hand, octave variations. Once again, over an 8 to 9 week process, and I was evidencing it through multiple videos, write-ups, things like that. For the 8-week plan, here it is. It's also on my website, so I can show it later on if I remember. So for week 1, it was just planning how the project was going to go and researching some piano techniques that I could be developing. Week 2, I'd show a bit of my already sort of known piano skills and knowledge to for like a comparison later on. So I will compare it later on. So that was week 2. I'd like document whatever, put videos up of me sort of showing what I already know. So then later on you can see an improvement. Week 3, I put it as researching piano history and basically correct form, proper hand movements and placements on the keys, so the player avoids any sort of injury or strain, so they can play longer and feel more comfortable. And it did work. I'll show it later. Week 4 was basically when I was setting the main goal, and it was off of a video, like a YouTube video of a piano song that I would listen to for a long time but never thought to learn it because I sort of put it that one step higher than I was, I don't know. But then I basically set it for myself and got straight to doing the videos. Got straight to trying to improve my technique, putting the work in. All it be the videos aren't extremely long, but that is because, I don't know, whilst I've done most of these videos, I guess I was ill and whatnot, but you can definitely tell that I've put in the work and practiced enough to see some improvement. So yeah, setting it for myself, showing my skills and starting the process of basically my development plan. Week 5, further show my development, so compare it to the last week, pick out what needs more work on, and then I'd work on that for the next week. Week 6, more videos again, showing the development of any more techniques that I've sort of picked up and noticed that I can do throughout the process. More research as well into just sort of what inspiration I took in, like how different people would play piano and how different people would play the song, stuff like that. More videos again. Week 7, continue the recording process with development videos and further look into the inspiration and proceed on how they played and imitate their techniques. So once again, similar to week 6, just sort of implementing different things that I've learned and showing that through the videos and write-ups of research. And then week 8 to 9, I guess, have a final take of basically me going all out. I don't know, it could have been done better, but I was satisfied with it. Yeah, so record a final video showing of what I've learned and sum up how my D8 has gone and how I think about it. Create a presentation, this now. So create the presentation and further show my progress and the entirety and upload it. So let's get to it. So week 1, yeah, like I said, sort of research. So I'd dwell into different things and I'd search up, as you can see here, the circle of fifths. There were different videos that sort of helped me understand it better, because the whole clock thing, like, yeah, I know, I understand that, like, if you want that, then it's going to need something, but implementing that into playing, it needed practice, and I had to watch a video alongside it. I got it in the end, and I do still have quite a rough understanding, and, like, you know, I could talk about it. I don't know how long this is going to go on for though. But yeah, like I said, the plan, I searched up the circle of fifths, tried to learn more about a little bit of theory so I'd better understand what I'm playing further on. So here are videos that I did watch. As it says there again, I found it hard at the start to understand the whole clock concept, but I figured it out most from the second link video. That is the one that did help me quite a bit. It's a longer video. I'm not going to show it all at all. Just a quick link to it. So literally, if there's not an ad.
You guys know
Yes,
how it is when
is.
you buy a new Mac. It's super fast at first, and then pretty soon after it starts to slow down. That's probably
The circle of fifths. Everything you need to know so you don't fail in music class.
Yeah. So it literally, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. So you could definitely get an understanding of it sooner or later. You know, I'd watch the videos over, sat at my piano, sort of practicing the different chords, going into one another. Let's go back to the presentation. Yeah, so, and then another video, of course. So I guess that was week 1. Once again, yeah, I would just practice at the piano, just playing, you know, practicing what I've learned, what I already know, sort of just recapping myself into piano. Since I hadn't left it, but I wasn't playing it as much, so this has definitely helped me also gain a bit of my passion back, because I am playing it every day now, without fail. Week 2. So after week 1, I put what I learned from the circle of fifths into practice and come up with some little melodies and little chord progressions, and basically I'll be able to speak about it. The videos on my website, unfortunately, aren't there. I don't know how. I have the videos at home, but I don't know what is actually going on. It won't let me upload it properly. And whenever I do go to upload it, it's just a black screen with no audio. It's a bit weird. So I don't know what I'm going to do on my website in regards to that, but I'll try and get it fixed later on. But yeah, so what I learned from week 1, I'd shown my practice. Unfortunately I can't, but C, the key of C is quite simple really. So I wrote something in the key of C, and then basically spoke in the video about how the circle of fifths had got me to writing what I'd done. And then also, I'd never really properly done it. I tried to use my ears to identify something, but I did try a bit. I'll be honest, it didn't go as good as that, because that's just playing. That's genuine music theory, and little bit, yeah. But so I used my ears to identify basically the relative minor to a piece that I just randomly come up with. I didn't know what it was in. I'd just writ it, remembered it, and then tried to identify it afterwards and talk about it. So I think that was week 2, yeah. Week 3. This was where sort of I got my inspiration from and sort of found out, like, oh, that's what I could properly be doing. I'll talk about the mid-review point after. That's on my website. But piano research, I searched up I got up the piano's history. That's on my website. So I've got a little section where it talks about the piano's history and sort of how it's evolved over time alongside with the music, leading up to modern classical, which is what mine is, what the thing that I took inspiration from and tried to learn. So it fits into the modern classical genre, and so I just basically writ up about research and stuff that I knew about the piano in general. Correct form. Now that I've properly learnt about it, I've realised how genuinely essential it can be. So like, even something as simple as just how you sat, you know, I learned that just how you sat and how your back is, it can affect so much in your playing, because if you're slouched and you're like that, you're having to sort of lean all the way over to play lower notes and higher notes, whatever. If you stay in the middle, and if you don't stay in the middle, you're doing little, like, you're moving about, which you don't want to be doing, to be honest. You look a bit silly. But hand placement and correct technique in regards to where your hand should be, depending on what you're playing. Here are videos that I got my research from, so I'll get that one. This was basically...
Try this 90-second trick to instantly reduce your winter energy bills by 85%. This
was basically preparation to be playing piano, proper posture, sort of, so that you avoid any, you know, cramps or strain. You don't want to be straining yourself, because, you know, it's an important thing to be considered, you know. But I'll play the first 30 seconds.
Hello and welcome. My name is Lisa Witt, and I'm going to be teaching you about how to have proper posture at the piano. Proper posture. If you slouch, you're not going to be able to efficiently get across the keyboard, and you're going to get sore. So you want to sit nice and tall with a nice straight back. You want your feet on the floor. So if you're short, but you really want to make sure your feet are on the floor.
Yeah, I'm not going to play it all because it's a bit... Yeah. But, so literally just keeping up straight, it affects so much, and when you actually know that you're playing properly in the correct posture, you realise a difference in how you play. You can be more sort of articulate, and you know, you realise it's the little things that make quite the big difference. And then videos where I learnt about sort of different fingering techniques at the piano, basically like just hand placement and different things that you can be
Hello,
doing.
my name is Lisa Witt, and today I'm going to teach you how to have proper hand posture when you're at the piano. It is very important to develop good habits when it comes to hand posturing at the piano. Otherwise, you can actually cause injury and strain. So the first thing you want to look at is how you hold your wrist. When you're playing, you want to make sure that your wrist is slightly up. I kind of like to pretend that there's a little puppet string that's kind of holding up my wrist. And I also like to pretend that there's a bubble underneath my hand, that if I lower my hand too much, it'll pop the bubble. We don't want that. So we have sort of like...
Yeah, so, and then this one, it's a longer video, but it goes over sort of the same things. But he does arm functions as well, so that's basic. That is like
Hi everyone,
how
this
you
is
can
Josh
move
with
your
Josh
wrist
Wright Piano TV.
and different like.
Today I want to talk about
It's
wrist,
for longer
finger, and
stretches, so like
arm
if
functions.
you can
So,
twist.
A lot
and
of
then
people ask me this
basically
question, especially
even out,
beginners. They say, you know,
and
how do I
then
play?
After you've
And
played one
this
note,
is a
you
hot
realise you've
issue
got a
with
whole
so many
octave
different
and
teachers.
half
So many teachers that
range.
you have to play from the finger like this.
But yeah, so that's just it's just the little things. So that was my week 3. And then we had the mid-review point. Not the best. Well, mine wasn't anyway. Because halfway through this, I realised sort of what I was doing in regards of theory, because that's what it was mainly set on at the start, theory. And I wasn't enjoying it, and I wasn't wanting to properly do it, so I wasn't giving it my all, I wasn't paying it loads and loads of attention. So I spoke to Alex in this video, I'll just show it quickly. I spoke to Alex about my website and whatnot, and how things could be
That's
changed.
now live.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we will talk a little bit about Module D, shall we? It is that I don't currently have. I'm going to refine those skills over the 8-week period, and at the end I'm going to show a song that demonstrates me implementing those skills.
So I'm quite lucky that I got to that point on the video actually. So yeah, we sort of got it down to, I'd like to do something a bit more practical. Obviously I'm playing piano, but I wasn't aiming my goal at something physical, sort of something practical for me. So I'd be better suited to doing something practical than sort of, you know, music, I don't know, I don't quite have the knack to just want to do that. I'd have to do something else alongside it that would keep me interested, which is what this was. So if I go onto my website quickly, wherever it is, here's week 4, and you can see that here is basically a song that I wanted to have it basically set on. There's the mid-review point. Go back onto this. Where's that? So my mid-review point sort of opened my eyes to what I could be actually doing to be achieving the grade that I want. And, you know, well, I got it. And sort of just went straight for it. So by week 4 onwards, that's where you see the proper development in my skills. So yeah, the mid-review point did help. It's sort of like a bit of a slap in the face to like realise like, oh, you know, I sort of came to terms as like, oh, if I'm going to carry on doing a music theory thing, I can't leave it the last 2 weeks and change it to something I want to be doing. I've got to do it now. And as soon as I realised that, I went straight to the other thing. So, and then week 4, after I identified my plan after the mid-review point, here we are with the song that I wanted to learn. Here's the YouTube link to it. Just play it off of that. No, you can't. So, like I said, from week 3, after I researched piano, modern classical, list. I say on the website, I've always had sort of an ear and I've always paid attention to just classical music, you know. Modern music's good, modern music is good, but I've always sort of gone back to just piano as well because, you know, that's what I started out listening when I got my piano. That's what I wanted to do, that's what I looked at. So I've always had an interest for it. And, well, 3 years down the line, I'm learning one of a relatively hard one as well. So it's a big step, but this is it. Beautiful piece. It's amazing. Unsuspiro it's called. So, after I identified my plan from the mid-review point and I set a goal for myself, you know, I went straight to it. So, like I said at the start, arpeggios, cross-hand playing, octave variations, you know, each of these techniques, I had their retrospective videos of me playing and sort of trying to develop those skills. They're all on the website. So yeah, arpeggios, cross-hand playing, octave variations, remember it. I was having troubles with PowerPoint, so there's a little personal aggression. But yeah, that's the end of the PowerPoint, and then like I said, I'll go onto the website. So yeah, week 4, you've already seen that. That's the mid-review point, that's the song. Oh, the background's back, nice. So yeah, arpeggios. This is going to be a bit tricky because my website's being a bit of a pain, but you might not be able to read it properly there, but it says in this video I start off slow just to get the basics of playing the extended arpeggios, to gain more fluency with them and make certain that I can play just play it properly basically, and to a standard that I'll be satisfied with. I'm not going to play the whole of these videos because some of them can get a bit long, but...
Right, Ron. Okay, so this is arpeggios.
So yeah.
All the videos that I'll be doing link to a song which implements the skills that I'm trying to develop and show for my DA. So the first one is arpeggios. At the start of the song, you hear an arpeggio which is fast, but I'll break it down. It's so it's a chromatic.
Oof, Jesus. Where's your delicacy? And then... What was that there? And then, yeah. So, and then octaves. Each one, basically, I'm talking at the start, and then it would just be, 5 to 10 minutes of me playing. Here it is again, this one. Before I know, it will start to sound quite similar because I have only learnt a section of the song, but I've identified the skills in the section and I've developed on that. So it's not so much developing on the song, it's developing on the skills that are to do with the song, and then obviously I learn the song over time, but I haven't learnt it yet because it is pretty hard. But here's octaves. So like again, I do a bit of talking at the start of the videos and then show my development, show me playing, stuff like that. So yeah, what are they all there? Okay, and then left to right hand coordination, that was basically me. I'm not going to show that one because it will get repetitive, but it was just me playing the song. Basically it was me just trying to play it for as long as I could to gain more, just get more comfortable with it and sort of learn it, because I didn't remember every note, because it's like it spans over 3 octaves, the whole arpeggio. So to get the things at the right speed, at the playing all of the notes, it is hard. But yeah, week 5. So in week 5, I go over again what I've already learned, making sure that my practice is going to use, and that what I'm doing from last week, you can see the progress. So yeah, a thing that I'd learned, I was rushing it a bit. I was rushing, so I wasn't properly practicing correct. I don't know. I wasn't doing it in a right way that people would consider a right way. I was just sort of jumping at it, going the speed of the song, which is very fast. And well, you can pick out things that I'm doing wrong if you listen to the videos the whole way through, which don't. A bit embarrassing. But so I got up a video which was basically 20% speed of the actual song, so it's easy to play along to. And basically in this video here, after I picked out, I can't play at the speed that the song's being played at, so I need to slow it down and sort of rearrange my practice to make sure that I'm being useful with my time. So here I was, just had the phone propped up on my keyboard, and I was playing along to the video.
And what is it for? This is me just going over it and just trying to actually get it up to speed and play it right. So I'll be practicing arpeggios.
I do try and sum up quite a bit in the videos, just try and talk as much as I can about what I'm doing to try and fit it all in. And then again, dynamic changes as well, because if you do listen to the song, it's not all being played at the same. There's a lot of dynamics, and especially going at that speed, it's hard. So I had to focus quite a lot on my dynamic changes and sort of my delicacy at the piano itself, because it's hard to play fast things quiet. But I found out it's hard. The slower they are, the more attention you can pay in the moment. But it's hard to play fast things quiet. That's why it's so impressive when people do so. But where is it? Here I work basically just trying to get my articulation at the keys right, and then I went back to the hand techniques, like the hand placement and posture, because I found the longer I was playing, the less attention I was paying to what I could be doing right, and I had to sort of take a step back to realise, like, oh, I could be doing this, I could be paying attention to so and so. I talk about it in the videos, and you can tell from the start to the end I'm a lot more delicate. It's the right word. I'm a lot more delicate with the keys. So that is just me, once again, playing the same start that I do in every one of the videos, but I am paying attention to my dynamics. And you can hear it throughout the different videos, how it gets better over time. Week 6, this was the video that I actually learnt from. I'm not going to learn from the video that's in full speed. I'm not going to learn from someone playing the actual song properly straight away. I had to have it slowed down, and this was once again just to sort of memorise the notes and sort of, you know, get used to playing the song more, and just, well, yeah, sort of just getting used to playing it more and making sure what I'm doing is correct. So that is a video that I would play along to quite a lot. There's a very long, just silent intro, and there goes the keys, it shows you playing it. So I would just play along to him. I tried a bit of music reading that I tried to remember from my GCSE music back in high school, but it didn't go to plan really, because if I paid more attention to the music, reading it, I wasn't watching his fingers and I couldn't play. Yeah, it slowed down, which you can hear. But so that's that. Also, within the research that I was putting in, I found out something called a three-hand technique. And if I read it, it is: the three-hand effect of three hands technique is the means of playing the piano with only two hands, but having the impression that there's a third hand being played. So in the song, you know, say you weren't watching someone's hands and you weren't watching it cross, it sounds like there's three people playing, because obviously you're doing the arpeggio, but there's also the melody. So your left hand is constantly like that throughout the whole of the playing. Your left hand is that. Play high notes, finishing off the arpeggio, doing the arpeggio, high note, playing the melody. So it gives that three-hand effect, especially because your right hand never stops. Your right hand never stops. But so that was me basically figuring out about that and sort of playing in an impression of that there is three hands. So I play it quite sped up in this video, if I remember, and it's me trying to give off the impression that there is that third hand. This one. And that is also me playing along to another video, showing what I'm doing, sort of trying to help me remember what I'm playing. So, week 7, we're on to week 7, but yeah. So, what I do, I didn't do a video for sort of a end of week review. I'd sort of do the review for the next week and say at the start, so I'd basically talk like, oh, this is how the last week went, this is what I'm going to do for this week, so I'd have the review and the plan in the same paragraph. I wouldn't be talking about it on a video because, I don't know, I feel more comfortable writing up about it. But as I mentioned in my last week's review, I feel more comfortable with my playing of the song, but despite that I knew the work was still needed, obviously, and something I do still quite struggle with is the section where the melodies are being overplayed with the octaves. So here's the octave variations that I was talking about back from week 4. Here's the development on that. So I'm not playing it fast in this, I'll be honest, but there gets to a bit where the melody is being played in octaves but it's delayed. I'll show it, but it's hard, so it needed quite a lot of work, but
Another one.
if it gets to it. Yeah, so the melody's been played in octaves. I should probably speed this up because I'm being quite long. But yeah, so that was octaves development. I've got here again cross-hand coordination, so literally just constantly playing it, going over, trying to, you know, sort of blindly, like sort of like be able to play it with a blindfold on. I don't do that, so it'd be silly. But I sort of had to try and memorise it to the point where I don't have to properly look at the keys. I know with my muscle memory how far I have to be playing with my cross hand and getting it back quick enough to finish off the arpeggio on the lower notes. So alongside everything else that needs to be used playing this song, being accurate with playing and getting the speed to be able to be played with the cross hand is essential, because it is. You wouldn't be able to do the melody with your right hand because you're doing too much. But you've got that, and another thing, basically, I got up another video sort of to help me with my cross hand playing. I got up more videos, and basically there's links on the website to those different videos of people, professionals. I'm not professional, but so I had to learn from other people so I knew what I was doing in regards to crossing my hand, how to properly do it, you know, how to not put any strain on your hands, anything like that. In the last week, well, second to last week as well, as I was picking up the speed, I was not putting strain, but I knew I couldn't play it for ages, and so I got up another video of basically hand shifting. So I got that up, and basically I talk about it in that video there, discussing how from that video what I've learned and how I've improved on my technique.
Is entitled Shifting versus Crossing, and it has to do with hand ergonomic.
Sorry, so he goes on about ergonomics of the hand, correct hand placements, how to basically play it properly, and that's a video I've already shown. And then the final week, summing it up, final take, basically me going all out on it, trying to showcase all the skills and my development over it in a whole. So here's another summary. So basically, after learning the techniques I could be using in regards of my hand movement, it did really help open up the opportunity for me to be better with my playing. I felt less tension in my wrist and felt like I could play for longer and more efficiently. Overall improvement in, you know, my muscle memory, technique, and then after the video I put up my thoughts of the whole process and then talk about the plan for this presentation. So, yeah, why not? I'll play the whole thing. It's not perfect, but you can definitely see the improvement. can definitely see the improvement. I'm a lot more up to speed, and you can definitely tell that the muscle memory's there, that my technique's improved over time. So, my thoughts after the process of the D8. So after the process and weeks, what I've learned and what I've developed on, I can say that picking a piece of music like Un Suspiro it wasn't easy for me. I was definitely, like I said at the start, shooting higher than I could probably do, but I had to do that to push myself. I genuinely did find it hard, and I can easily say that I've seen improvement in my technique, my articulation, hand-to-eye coordination, left to right-hand coordination, multiple improvements in my playing, and I will continue to see them because I'm not done. I do want to continue learning the song and, you know, become better overall as a pianist. About the final video, after listening it back, obviously it's not perfect, no, but if you compare that, the final take, to the start, you can definitely see that I've improved over time and that my technique has got better, and that I'm definitely a lot more comfortable playing the song at that speed and that difficulty. I could definitely say that I'm proud of myself because at the steady tempo that is, that's still not the full speed of the song, but I can definitely say that I'm proud of myself for basically how I've come along on the journey. So I guess that's it. That's my presentation. Not going to ask for any questions because there's no one in the class. Thank you for listening. I've got no clue how long that was. It's probably way too long. Thank you.